Xboxes and video games.
Dark Souls is the greatest platformer of all time.
Hello everyone, I'm Alex.
I'm Andy.
And today we're going to be going through your guys' hot takes that you submitted here and on Instagram. If you would like to be featured in our next video, comment down below what is your hottest video game take and we'll react to it. And also let us know what you think about these takes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join our Patreon to see extra content.
Prepare to be disappointed.
I'd say we just get right into it.
Let's do it.
So the first one from a personal friend of the show who I had to cuss out a little bit after submitting this. Skyrim and The Witcher 3 are both incredibly boring. I half agree. With this.
Skyrim is definitely boring.
Witcher 3 is definitely boring.
I mean, it's an interesting hot take because it's like, what is he getting at?
There's no anime
by
girls.
just like slowing both. Yes, okay.
I'll say Owen submitted this.
So the hot take is there are no anime girls in Skyrim or Witcher 3. There's a ton of sex and crazy shit in Witcher 3. I don't know about Skyrim. I didn't think so. I know you can marry a werewolf, right?
You can marry people in Skyrim, but everyone looks like people that are in a Skyrim game. There's no one hot in Skyrim, really.
There's some hot people in Witcher 3, I think.
We've got enough topic. This is not, I don't care who's hot in any of these games. I think that is why this was, that's my shade towards you. You know who you are. I think that's why you said this.
You know, we never really talked about Witcher 3. I really, really, really wanted Witcher 3 to be a game that I immediately was in love with and sunk like hundreds of hours into. The action was not as tight. The controls were not as tight as Dark Souls. So I could never get into it.
Yeah, that's...
Sorry. I mean,
Nothing
From Software,
Souls.
they just nailed like every game should just copy the controls from that game. I really, really love RPG. I guess maybe what I'm learning is I really love JRPGs, and it was really hard for me to get into Skyrim or Witcher.
Okay, so you're agreeing with the take then.
Sure, why not?
Sick. Okay, Andy's going out on a limb. Witcher 3 and Skyrim are both incredibly boring. For my take, I mean, if you've ever watched any of our videos, you know Skyrim's like my favorite game of all time, basically. So I don't think it's incredibly boring. It's like most of my life is about Skyrim.
Have you played Oblivion?
I played Oblivion. Yeah, I played Oblivion. I played
Skyrim's
Morrowind.
Better than Oblivion.
Yeah, it's better.
And better than Morrowind?
Yeah,
right.
Better than both. I mean, I like both of those games, but they kind of just feel like older Skyrim. Oblivion has its own quirks that makes it worth going back to.
Right.
But okay, my point is, Skyrim's the greatest game ever. I like it because I just love running around. I like exploring stuff, and I like when games make me feel like I can affect the game world itself. And Skyrim does a lot of that, where like your choices have impact on what happens. And you can like, I don't know, not that I would ever do such a thing, but like if you kill a shopkeeper, they're actually dead. And now there's no more, like stuff like that in a game I really appreciate. So that's why I get so much out of Skyrim, and it's just like infinitely replayable. Witcher 3 is incredibly boring. Because I went into it with my Skyrim knowledge being like, okay, I hope it's something like that. And it really isn't. Like, you're playing as this guy with a ponytail and you have to be him, and I don't want to live that life.
Why not? He's hot.
He is hot, but I don't know. It's very slow. Like you said, the combat, I don't know. It just feels like I'm reading a book as a game, which I'm being biased.
Have you played any of the Monster Hunter games?
Yeah.
Like, I wanted it to be more like Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter...
But like, if Monster Hunter had like RPG like story,
but it's based off a book, it would never be like that. Monster Hunter has like nothing in it.
Maybe that's why I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Monster Hunter has the proud reputation of being the only game I've ever sold to GameStop.
Which one?
It was like 4 Ultimate, or the 3DS one.
Yeah.
I traded that in. But okay, we've talked about this one for long enough. I disagree. I think Skyrim is not boring. I think Witcher 3 is boring.
Well, I just want to say one last thing. Okay. So the last like Western RPG was like I feel like people are into Skyrim because of all like the different dialogue trees and stuff you can go on with characters. Is that true?
No.
So what's boring about Skyrim? If you had to say there was something boring about Skyrim, what is it? Like if you were just gonna...
Yeah, the dialogue, I could see... I'm not usually sitting through Skyrim dialogue.
Okay, so what are you doing in that game? Just going like this, going up to things and axing them?
Kinda. I mean, you go into a cave, you kill all the bandits, you hear them talk about their gambling problem, you take all their loot, and then you do random side quests. You like...
But killing things is fun in this game to you?
Killing things is fun in this game to me because I use my bow. And also there's stuff like you have to go on like 15 hours worth of like searching through an island to get like a certain pair of armor, which I guess is kind of like Monster Hunter, but not like that because the combat's bad in Skyrim.
Got it. Well, with the Monster Hunter thing was like, I wish Witcher 3 was like, you would go to like a bar, you'd overhear like there's this thing you got to go kill, and then you like go and like find it, kind of like in a Monster Hunter type like setup. But I feel like it's not like that at all. It was like too on rails for me.
Yeah, it is. It does feel very on rails, which is not what I was expecting from it.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next one. This, I believe, is in a direct response to some things that you've said in your past. Yeah, that's always a good way to start. Sonic characters are better for having voices.
No, they are better. I just don't like the voices they have in Sonic Frontier. Or
you seemed like you never liked them.
No, I think Tails is annoying. Yeah, I don't like Tails. Tails should not have a voice. Like that's why everyone loves Link. He doesn't say anything.
That's why I don't care about Link.
That's why they can't make a Legend of Zelda movie, because what is Link going to sound like?
You say they can't. They're going to.
If they did, it should be a silent movie. It should just be a
like
silent
Charlie
movie.
Chaplin.
Yeah, exactly.
Charlie Chaplin as Link.
No, I like Sonic voices are. There's something else.
I like the Sonic characters. I think they're fun. It's probably my favorite thing about the Sonic universe. In a game, like let's say Sonic Heroes, which sucks. But my favorite thing is that it has like an anime intro at the beginning and just like the cutscenes between the characters. I'm like, yeah, I get to see these characters interact. That's awesome.
I feel like they're just always at a picnic eating chili dogs or something like
no,
that. Or
they do
they're
so
in
much.
like some space. They're in some space thing.
Okay, that's pretty different from a picnic eating chili dogs.
It's like one or the other. It's like I don't understand what these characters interact other than like.
I think maybe you're just too old. I feel like.
I think I'm just.
They're just these characters are too youthful for you.
That's
maybe.
fine. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't give a crud about Mario characters and what they're up to, generally. I like Toad.
Yeah, I think Mario characters having narratives that we care about is just not okay. Like, it's just about a guy. It's just about a sprite jumping through a level.
Yeah. But I don't want that from Sonic. I want Sonic to be like a rude dude, and I want Tails to be his charming friend, and I want Knuckles to be stoic, and I want Shadow to be me.
Okay. I don't like the Knuckles voice actor in Sonic Frontier.
Okay,
I mean, that's
fine.
my point from the previous video.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
But to bring it back to the hot take, sure. Yeah, Sonic characters do not need voices. It's so much better in 2D. Just why are they talking? I don't understand.
Okay, and I like when they have voices. We're split again. This is from In Real Life. I witnessed this hot take be said. Super Mario Bros. 2 is the best of the trilogy.
Oh yeah, who said that to me?
This was Suarez, Justin. I'll link his
true.
Twitch.
Yeah.
He's an influencer as well.
You know, that's probably the most fun I've had playing a Mario game in the last 5 years was going back and revisiting Mario 2, because I had these like memories of playing it as a kid, and I understood like how the levels kind of went together, but I never like played through the entire thing, and it was just such a weird, bizarre experience going from the beginning to the end of that game that I just had a really great time. There are like some weird like formulaic like things with like the levels kind of repeating themselves in various ways. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't actually feel like a Mario game at all. But
yeah.
Hey, sure, why not? Yeah, Mario 2 is the greatest Mario game ever.
Okay, so for my point, I mean, I haven't played a ton of Mario 2. I'd say Mario 3 is probably my favorite of the trilogy, but to be honest, I don't love any of these games. The world of Mario 2 probably excites me the most. I mean, it's just, you know, it's like a different game. So there's like random creatures and like Birdo's there. Birdo's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Like there's something uniquely whimsical about how Mario 2 like looks and feels and how its world exists. I don't know. Every time I've ever tried to play this game, I don't know if this is only on the Game Boy Advance version, but like every single time you like switch screens, which you're doing a lot in this game, it pauses like kind of like Mega Man or Metroid would. But like it happens like every second in this game. And I'm like, I cannot. It's just so hard for me to stick with it for that reason.
That sounds horrible. You should not play that version. You should play
Does the NES version follow you?
Yeah.
Okay, because the Game Boy Advance version, whatever, it's Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario 2, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single time, like, the screen changes, it like, doesn't follow you. It, like, pauses. So
That's weird.
Yeah, I've never gotten very
I don't remember there being that lag in the original version.
Okay.
Looking back at it, it was kind of crazy that we had a game where you could play as all four of those characters, and then you don't have another game where you can play as those characters until like New Super Mario Bros. Wii or whatever.
Unless you know the secret Luigi cheat for Super Mario 64.
No, I don't play that game.
You don't know.
That's my hot take.
There's a Luigi conspiracy theory in Super Mario 64.
I do know about this. Yeah. I don't got time for 3D Mario. Sorry. At the time, like it felt like having those characters was this like deep lore thing they were giving you. But I think in reality they were, you know, it was just like sprite swaps for this other Japanese game, Doki Doki Panic. And I don't even know like why, you know, who knows?
Characters aren't they a little different? Like, can't Peach float?
They're different. They're different. Yeah. But in terms of like where, I don't think Nintendo really thought about how the American audience was going to think about these characters in terms of like this like larger like world building thing. I think they were just like, here's these characters. But the fact that in the second Mario Bros game to come out here, you had all those characters. I don't know. It's just it was such an interesting and weird and wacky choice that they made. And then to go into Mario 3 and it not be like that at all. I don't know. It's just such a weird time.
It is definitely jarring. I'm going to say I disagree with this take. Super Mario 3 is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Sorry, Justin. I know in the moment I was really psyched about your statement, but I think I agree. Super Mario Bros.
What a bad take. No, I'm okay.
Mario 2 is like the third best Mario game.
Okay, that's a pretty
from the OG era.
Fighting games are the best esport from a spectator's point of view.
I agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Some of the reasons I'm into like some of the weirder fighting games that came out that I didn't experience at the time is because I've gone back and watched like these really intense like matchups in tournaments where it like came down to like one, you know, move and hits a parry or something happening. Like it's just like the dudes that are really really good at fighting games, like when they're locked in, I think it's super interesting to watch.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, I guess I have my own hot takes about esports, but like every other esport just feels like a bunch of people like yelling at each other over a video game, and it's like I don't know, when I watch people play fighting games, it feels like actually watching something like happen. I can comprehend that these people are like doing a task. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like
it's like watching a virtual boxing match. Yeah,
basically it translates better into my real life brain.
I would love to watch StarCraft is like a big esport thing. Not here in like Korea. I would love to watch that. Like there's whole channels where you can just like watch that. But I don't really understand like why that'd be entertaining. But
and I'd like to watch people that play League of Legends fight each other.
Fight each other, yeah.
I think, or what if they all just got along? You know, what if they stopped fighting?
Just stop fighting. Just stop trying to like kill each other.
Just what if they all played on the same team? You know, I think that'd be a more peaceful world.
Or what if they didn't respawn? It was just like that's the last time you can ever play the game. Yeah, once you die, that's it. You can't play the game anymore.
It would save a lot of people a lot of time and money.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna agree with this take. I think fighting games. I mean, they're definitely my favorite to watch.
I don't get battle royale games at all, so yeah, fighting games. Yeah.
Sick. All right, these two are kind of similar, so I'm gonna group them. GameCube was the best console of that generation. Second runner-up was PS2. Then Xbox in third. And then this other person said, Dreamcast is better than PS2 in every way. The first person forgot the Dreamcast existed. So based on their list, it would go GameCube and then the Dreamcast based on the transitive property since it's better than the PS2, then the PS2, then the Xbox. And I disagree because the GameCube's definitely not the best console from that generation.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe at one point in my life I would have thought that. It's definitely like the most fun to collect for because the game, like the library is kind of more rare and there's like some weird stuff and it's like, I'm way more psyched to pick up Resident Evil 2 on game, like to find that or I don't know, than the PS2 version. Like some of the PS2 version games are just so common, but then you find it on GameCube and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I found that. But the PS2 is a superior system. I think the PS2 wins that console war hands down.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Units sold. I'm not a Sony fanboy at all. Like the Dreamcast is my favorite of those consoles, but Sony, like, they just knocked it out of the park. The PS2 library is insane. The PS2 hardware is actually really, really good, depending on which model console you get.
I don't hate the GameCube. There's nothing that impressive about it, though, besides, like, the Nintendo games, and there's, like, I don't know, 6 of those, and they're all, like, $150, which is fun if you're a hedge fund manager, but not if you're me. So I hate that stuff. I like the PS2. Every game's like $10. It's nice.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Like you said, like hardware wise, it's not the most impressive. I'd say like even vibe wise, the Dreamcast has a beat out. I wouldn't say the Dreamcast is better than the PS2 though. It's probably my second favorite from that generation, but just quantity wise, the PS2's gotta win. Like if you're gonna only have one of these consoles, I would say get the PS2 unless you're like trying to collect rare things and then get the Dreamcast.
If you're like starting into retro games or whatever, like PS2 is just hands down like the console you want. Yeah. You can play so much stuff
and
on that.
PS1 games.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and it's super easy to like repair the lasers on it, like more than either of the other two consoles. And also like can like in the context of when it all came out, like GameCube, that was like Nintendo trying to do something they were not good at, and they pretty much after the GameCube decided, hey, we're never going to do that again.
That was awkward.
We're going to lean into like what we're good at, which is being a weird, funky like game company with amazing first party like intellectual properties. Like we're not going to try to do BMX Triple X like everyone else and be hardcore and whatnot. And I don't know, everything you said is true. Like the GameCube is not a great console.
Yeah, and it's like it's largely like you said, it's Nintendo like not doing Nintendo for a generation basically. Besides, I don't know, they made the discs smaller, I guess. That was their
which was also
thing.
completely stupid.
And the GameCube had a handle.
Right.
those are the two big innovations for them. So yeah, no, the GameCube's not the best. The Xbox is the worst.
I will say the Wavebird though was ahead of its time. It was the best like wireless controller hands down for a long time.
I mean, the Dreamcast had a pretty innovative wire situation too.
Now that's a hot take. The Dreamcast controller is the greatest controller of all time. That's a hot take.
Yeah, and you forgot the Xbox existed fully in your analysis of the generation.
Correct.
It's the worst. Yeah.
It is the worst.
Except it has the best home screen. It's so gloopy.
That was of all those consoles, that was the one I went to the store and bought though, because I was like,
I could see that.
Well, it was mostly because of KOTOR. Like I was a huge Star Wars fan. Knights of the Old Republic. Like it was exclusive. I was
I mean, the Xbox has good games. Like it's not a horrible system.
It's a weird little library.
All right, so I think we both disagree with both of these takes. Gen 6 was stacked.
I always get confused during the hot takes. Is he saying the GameCube? He's being provocative and saying the GameCube is the best of all those?
Yeah, I don't think that's that provocative.
But does he believe that or not?
I think probably. Right. Comment down below if you really believe this. I think so. There are people that the GameCube's like their favorite console ever. I've met those types of people.
If the Wii U didn't exist, it would be the worst Nintendo console ever made.
Celeste is the greatest platformer of all time.
100%.
No.
What are you talking about? Super Meat Boy.
No, I don't like Super Meat Boy. I like probably Rayman Legends more. I like probably, I don't know, a couple Kirby games maybe. Oh, Yoshi's Woolly World. That one's better. Celeste is good.
Celeste?
I mean, but I'm saying Celeste's in the top 5.
All right, how about Celeste is the greatest indie platformer ever made. Sorry, Cuphead.
Sure.
Sorry, Meat Boy.
Sure. I don't know. I mean, does a short hike even count?
No.
Okay, then yeah, sure. I really like a short hike.
Celeste is one of my favorite games of all time, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's in my top 5 platformers, and platformers are like some of my favorite games ever. Like, Celeste could be in my top 10 games in any given day. I'll accept your take. I'll say I accept this. If Celeste is your favorite platformer of all time, I wouldn't question it, but I wouldn't put it as mine.
Totally fair. But it does have the greatest soundtrack also.
No, that's actually Super Meat Boy. Genuinely, I'm saying Super Meat Boy for that one. This one comes from a real intellectual. Chrono Trigger overrated, lol.
Wow.
I feel like that's just saying like the Beatles are overrated, right? Like you're like maybe, but whatever.
I feel like Final Fantasy is the Beatles in that analogy, and that Chrono Trigger's like
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No. Like,
Weezer.
Well, Chrono Trigger is weird. It was not a spin-off of Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, but it kind of was a spin-off of both of those games.
Chrono. Whoa. That was pretty good. First Weezer on the channel.
On the channel, yeah. True turn-based RPGs kind of become a comfort food for me. So anytime I go back to that like 16-bit era and you're playing these like weird like hybrid games where they were like really trying to cater to Western audiences who couldn't comprehend turn-based like games, like I don't know, I would definitely say Secret of Mana is overrated. I do not like Secret of Mana at all. I do think Chrono Trigger it's a really great game. I think it's one of the best stories. Like if you're gonna say, hey, there's this game where the story is there's no dialogue, there's no like voice acting, there's nothing. There's just like you reading like pixelated text like coming out on the screen, and you're telling me that I give a shit about the story. Like Chrono Trigger is that game. Like it is a brilliant story. Like it like brings you in for no reason.
You are kind of describing a book. But yeah, I mean, I haven't played a ton of Chrono Trigger,
but like no one says like, okay, Pokemon, first and second gen Pokemon, those are great stories.
Yeah.
Like no one's like, oh yeah, I was really invested in that story. Yeah. That's why I played that game. Like Chrono Trigger is the opposite of that. Like the sprite work is amazing. The music is amazing. All these things are amazing, but it's like the actual story, like the story beats and like the character arcs, all of that stuff is like really, really good.
Yeah, no, I'll say, I mean, Chrono Trigger Chrono Trigger definitely deserves its place within the canon of video games that it has. I don't think it's overrated in that sense. Maybe in the sense of like if you sat someone down to play it today, i.e. me, maybe they wouldn't get it. Like if you're like expecting them to come out of it being like Chrono Trigger is the greatest game of all time, like that's probably not going to happen with a modern audience. Like the Beatles or Weezer or whatever, when something just gets that big, inevitably it probably is overrated. No, I mean, I think Chrono Trigger deserves to be considered amazing.
There were kind of 4 really special games in a 5-year time. I don't know when Final Fantasy VII came out exactly, but like Final Fantasy VI, Dragon Quest V, Chrono Trigger, and then ultimately like Final Fantasy VII. Like those 3 games or 4 games are, I don't know, those are really, really special games. But like in an era before you had voice acting and other things that kind of made the immersion more accessible to like modern audiences or whatever.
It's like if you can get really invested in like a silent movie.
Right.
You're like, damn.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
No,
Earthbound. I'll put Earthbound in there too. Sorry.
Earthbound is my favorite silent movie. Yeah, I mean, I think we both disagree with your take. I don't think Chrono Trigger is overrated, probably.
Anytime a game is like just so put on a pedestal, you have to kind of like have some sort of skeptical like eye on it, I guess. But
yeah. You know what? I'll say it's overrated.
All right, Alex on the record says Chrono Trigger is the most overrated, hyped game of all time.
Yep, that's what I think.
No, I think it's awesome. I think the battle system is really interesting in that game. I really wish it was just a turn-based game though. Or I mean, that
might be that's a crazy. I don't know. People like that battle system. People don't like turn-based.
I think the story is so good it makes up for it. I do not like the battle system in Chrono Trigger.
All right. That's the quote of the video, probably. I think there's only 2 left. This one is, I don't know if it's a super hot take, but I think Twilight Princess is the best Zelda game. That's not a hot take.
I think that's becoming more of a popular take now. I do not like Twilight Princess at all. It is probably one of my least favorite Zelda games. It was such a weird journey in the way it all came out. Like everyone wanted, this was like all happening in parallel with the Lord of the Rings movies. And everyone just wanted a freaking dark, realistic version of Ocarina of Time. And we got Wind Waker, the greatest Zelda game of all time. And everyone was like, what the fuck is this? Sorry for my language. But it was like, oh, and then they gave us Twilight Princess, which was what they wanted the whole time. But I'm just like, no, you gave us Wind Waker and it was amazing. And then you're just doing this whole like giant, like bloated retread of Ocarina. No thanks. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, I've never played any Zelda game for even 1 second of my life. That's not true, but not really. But in the future universe where I have played every single Zelda game, if Twilight Princess sits atop that list, I would be shocked.
There's like another universe where you're like the ultimate Zelda super fan, where the only games you play are Zelda games.
I mean, that I've nearly went down that path with a couple games. Zelda was never one of them.
There's fishing in Zelda. Did you know that? Whoa. There's like fishing.
There's fishing in Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Animal Crossing. That's not.
There's good fishing.
I like the Animal Crossing.
There's good fishing in Ocarina of Time. You should.
Okay, fine. Yeah. I'll check it out. There's fishing in a short hike too. Twilight Princess, it seems like they're overcompensating for Wind Waker being a game for little babies or something, and it looks like if Zelda was made in Gen 7, and that's not my vibe. I don't think it'd be my favorite Zelda game. But I know a lot of people say it. I'm sure they say it for a reason.
Yeah, I really didn't like the gimmick in that game where you go into this other world where you're the wolf and you have Midna riding on you and you have to do this really like it's cool at first, this like weird fighting combo you have to do with the wolf where you do this like 3, it's like a triangle.
It's like Sonic Unleashed.
It's actually like Sonic Frontiers, you know, when you do the spin around and then it does this. It's exactly like that.
Go watch our
Sonic Frontiers stole that from Twilight Princess.
And the color scheme.
But it's like, that is true. They're both some gross...
like gray-blue.
Yeah. That like formula of being human Link and then going into the world and doing this whole like sequence where you have to do this like one patterned attack like over and over again, I thought really disrupted the immersion of what was happening with the rest of the narrative. I don't know. I just think it's a bloated game that just retreads too much other Zelda stuff. Oh, 100% disagree with that. It is my least favorite. It is not
Jeez,
good.
Okay, that's harsh. It's
people that made that game.
It's right in the middle for me. It's hard for me to say.
In public and ostracized.
It's right in the middle, tied with every other Zelda game for me. So yeah, it's not my favorite either. So I guess I disagree. Zelda is the most boring video game franchise of all time. No, I didn't just write that.
Are you sure?
I'm certain that
sure?
wasn't just me putting that in.
I don't know. Like, if you're gonna make that statement, you gotta put a little more in
Yeah.
there. Like, why? Why do you think that?
I mean, I'll say personally, I have tried a bunch of Zelda games, and like none of them have hooked me. As like I probably get 2 to 8 hours in any given Zelda game, and then I kind of fall off it. I keep trying because I do want to like Zelda. Every time I play Zelda, I just think I can't stop feeling like I wish it was like an actual RPG, because it feels like you're doing all the RPG things minus like having any control over how you play as a character.
I think maybe, I don't know. I'm sure people have said this, but I actually think Zelda's more interesting if you think of it as like a puzzle game. Because I think the dungeons themselves are puzzles. Every dungeon relies on you getting some sort of item, and that new item gives you a new ability that helps you traverse this dungeon. So I would suggest that you try like Link to the Past, or even the original one. I think the original Legend of Zelda is one of the best ones in the series. If you play it with a guide today, it's like, it's not super accessible, but I don't know. I think they're fun puzzle games. I think Link's Awakening and Links to the Past are great. The 2 Capcom ones that were on Game Boy, the Oracle ones, those are great games too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep attacking Zelda. I won't attack Zelda.
Well, I think when Zelda goes off the rails, until like Breath of the Wild, like with Skyward Sword, when they try to make it too much of an action game, I think that's where it kind of loses its identity. Like, Zelda's about certain species that live in Hyrule in the world that you become acquainted with, and then the puzzles in the dungeons linked to, certain like elements, like the water dungeon, the fire dungeon, like all these things. Like, there's something about the familiarity of those things in every version that I think is interesting. And I think the lore is really interesting in the way it's developed over the years. But I think that's because of games like Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker and, I guess just those 2 games.
Just that's it.
And I mean, I guess also Breath of the Wild too. That world I think is interesting. From like a lore perspective. Zelda is one of the greatest franchises of all time. Like, I think it's actually, I know Mario is the poster boy over there, but I think Metroid and Zelda are better franchises than Mario.
Well, to me, in my life so far, the main issue with Zelda is that it has been boring to me. Because
you want it to be more like an RPG.
I want it to be about action and stuff, and it's not.
It is about action. There's like
kinda.
It's like
I get the same amount of action from like Ratchet and Clank, and they talk at least. Link's boring as hell. I don't care. I don't care.
You should play. I feel like maybe we should play Ocarina, the 3DS like remake of.
I mean, I have both of those. But the next Zelda game I'll try, which I try probably one Zelda game every other month on average. The next Zelda game I'll try is the evil version of Majora's Mask that haunts you or whatever.
Wait, which one?
You have to find it at a yard sale, and it says like Ben drowned, and then you get the evil Majora's Mask game, and like all the characters talk to you about like Ben, and they're like, the previous kid that had this game died.
Yeah,
you don't know this.
This
you
is like some
this.
sort of like, it's like The Ring, but
it's
with
like
a copy
kinda.
of Majora's
It's
Mask.
it's an internet thing that scared me in like 2010.
Yeah, I'm creeped out already. Like, that shit like scares me. I don't want to know about that.
All right, I'll send you some links when I get home, and not the one from Zelda. All right. I guess I don't really agree with this take. It's probably not the most boring franchise of all time.
The most boring franchise of all time is Madden.
I guess. I don't know. I spammed Hail Marys against my brother in Madden, and I lost every time.
That's not a good strategy.
It isn't.
Not a good strategy.
Thank you guys for submitting the hot takes. Like I said, if you want to be included in the next video, comment down below what are your video game hot takes. Feel free to follow our Instagram as well. I will be asking there. Make sure to like and subscribe, join our Patreon, and have a good night.